Hi there, it's Rob here from the Gym Scene. I hope you're well. Welcome to abdominal and back strengthening. And this class is all about how good are your postural muscles. If you spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or sitting driving, a really classic example here that you are going to be in what's called anterior pelvic tilt, sat in this position here. So your pelvic muscles are everything around that supports the pelvis. So we're going to be looking at quads, hamstrings, predominantly, but we're also going to be looking at what happens at the erectors abdominal, external obliques, internal obliques, and TVA transverse abdominal. So we've got plenty to work on. Drink of water, take a sip, lick around your lips and hydrate. We're going to do a little test at the start of this class just to see how strong you are in your postural grip. So, from here, find yourself a space, check around one way, check around the other, make sure you've got plenty of room. Excellent. Okay, so from here, let's find a space, rotate around. And all you're trying to do here is keep a nice straight line from the top of your crown of your head all the way through the midsection of your body. Now we're going to have a gap between our feet, a fist gap apart, and we're just going to pivot, rotate around on the spot here. We're going to keep the elbows up at chest height here as we rotate and rotate back. Now from here, we're going to squeeze the toes in just slightly, keep the hands up at chest height, and keep working through the rotations here. From here, we're going to stretch up and over. And all we're looking at doing is bring the hand back to the pelvis. We're going to just shift that pelvis out with one hand, and then shift the pelvis out with the other hand. So rotate and swap. Looking good. And as you're coming over to the side, you're trying to create this nice banana shape through the side of the body. And we're trying to keep the elbow up high towards the ceiling and the little finger pointing up to the ceiling as we go up and over. Big opening up on the side of the body here. Really nice. Come back to rotations through. Interlock your fingers and see if you get a bit more turn. Now you notice here that I'm trying to keep the nose facing forward. I'm trying to just give a bit of a twist and turn of the upper body, trying to fixate through the feet. So the head's staying straight, the feet are staying where they are, but the chest and the pelvis is rolling and turning. Do enough of these, you will definitely be something on the way to a six-pack. If you do it for quite a Okay, from there, release. Side flex again. This time, running the fingers down the side of the knees. Keeping toe to heel flat down to the ground. How far can you reach? Run the fingers up to the armpit each time. High lift. Chest lift. Slowly each side down to the side. Two more here. One more here. Really good. Shake it out. Roll the pelvis. Big circular movement. Two more here. One more here. We're going to counterclockwise. We're going to go back the opposite way. Really good. Now, easy step forward lunge, drop in the back knee, come back up and step back in. Now, don't worry if you can't get your knees to the floor. Use the wall to stabilize. Okay, we want to try and keep the pelvis driving forward. Keep the same gap between the feet and the knees at all times. Now, if you step forward and you're feeling that you're on the ball of the foot and the heel's coming up, you need to step longer and feel toes to heel flat down. Posture here. Again, the whole class is about posture. Lift the sternum so your breastbone, your chest, the sternum here facing up. Not down, here, lift. Step back up. Step. Flex. Lift, step back up again. And again. Strong push off that lead leg. Let's go. 2 more here. 1 more here. Change leg. Let's go. Right leg goes forward. Feel what happens. Do you go off balance? Do you go off kilter? Can you keep it strong? 2 more here. What's it's got to do with that? So everything you're doing at the moment is postural. This column of our body staying vertical and using your abdominals to keep yourself in position. Shake it out. Okay. So there's something called Trendelenburg technique here. So Trendelenburg is all about, we're going to slide the foot behind. The shin is going to come so it's parallel to the floor. The knees are going to be side by side, i.e. not forward or behind, they're side by side here. So you should only be able to see one knee as you do the exercise. Okay, shake it out. As you hold that position there, your hamstrings here are going to isometrically contract. They're going to hold so the leg doesn't drop. So we don't change the angle of the knee. So what we're going to try and do here is we're going to slide the foot back. At the moment I've got my left foot up behind me. When we get to this position here, you'll notice that the pelvis is roughly flat. I want you to lift this hip. So I take the line of my t-shirt, you can see it's angling up this side here. So from here, up diagonally towards that hip. Hold it in. Drive your pelvis forward. Flex the knee that you're standing on. Drop down. You might need the wall, and you might not get very far. But I want you to see the gap between your knees is the same at the top as it is at the bottom. Now, does it track in, or does it stay straight? Let's go again. Can you keep this chest lifted? Stabilize. Now, if you play a lot of golf or tennis, this is something I really encourage you to do before you hit a ball on a course. I'd also recommend, as you come up to every tee on a golf course, that you do this exercise and see what happens in practice as well. Can you keep the gap between the knees? Because what you're doing here is you're firing every single muscle of the obliques, internal externals, and your glutes as well. Shake it out, take a walk out. Well done. Massive for your posture. Remember, in golf, tennis, any rotation, squash movement here, internal, external obliques are going to help with your rotation. The abdominals are going to brace strong to keep that gap between your chest and your hip. Let's change the leg. Slide your leg back. We're going to drop and come back up. Remember, I'm looking for that hip to be lifted. Have a look at your t-shirt and make sure there's a diagonal line going across the body. Keep that lift lifted, the hip lifted. Easy for me to say. And are you keeping that gap here? Also, as you're coming up, are the knees staying side by side, or is your knee wanting to come behind or in front of you? Keep practicing, keep working it. Tough work here. You can definitely feel your abs. And again, you might find you only get to here, and then you're thinking, I've got to come back up. Absolutely cool. Work your level. You'll also find, as you fatigue, the knee will want to buckle inwards or outwards. You've got to keep it strong. Here, I've got everything engaged here before I lift up. Brilliant work. Shake it out. Very good. We're going to come back and test that in a minute. You're going to grab yourself a mat, lay down on the floor. Now, as we go down onto the ground, we're going to lay on our right side. Okay, if you can, you're going to raise both legs. If you can't, you're going to flex both knees and see if you can raise both legs. Bring your hand to your side of your tummy muscles. We're going to work either straight-legged or knee flexed, working on a side of lead crunch. Work the level that suits you. Obviously, the straighter leg is going to have more load and it's going to be more difficult. Keep the strength in the lift good. Keep the strength in the lower good as well. Now, try and get a straight line from your nose through to your pelvis. The same straight line should carry through to your toes if in a straight line position. If your knees are flexed, you should have a straight line from the nose through pelvis through to the knees. Keep working. 3 more here. 2 more here. Last one. And release. We're going to roll over to the side. Amazing work on the postural group here. Oh. Straighten the legs. Again, if you want to, you can flex the knees. See if you can keep a straight line from the nose through the pelvis to the knees. Gap between the knees. Slow controlled lift, even slower lower. So easy to just drop the legs out of the action. But I want you to keep strength through every part of this movement. How high you lift and how slow you lower the legs back down to the ground. Now, when I say the ground, the legs have to stay off the floor. They just literally kiss the floor, then we raise again. Two more here. One more here. And rest. Shake it out. Give your glutes a bit of a bum wiggle. And rest. Swapping back onto your back. Okay, so from here, we're going to get into our back bridge. Raise the pelvis up nice and high. Lift up and hold. It should feel really nice, especially if you did the body conditioning class where we did all about pelvis alignment. So just a long hold and stretch out, engaging the glutes, keeping the gap between the feet and the knees the same. Slowly control lowering through the back, curling the spine inch by inch down to the ground. Walk your heels in just slightly further, drive up, pelvis high, hold. Okay. Now, if this is the limit of what you can do, that's cool. You're just going to work through that bridge, and every now and again, extend your legs out and bring it back in again. If you've got this, you're going to drive your hips up to the ceiling. You're going to lift the right side of the pelvis up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to depress the right side of the pelvis down to the floor. You're going to feel a cocktail of things going on here around the stabilizing muscles of the pelvis. So literally just rolling or pivoting around that left hip, raising and lowering from the right side of the pelvis. Now as you're doing this, can you avoid the knee from spinning out to the side? Can you keep strength here? One more here. And rest. Stretch out both legs. Shake it out. We're going to do the same. We're going to do it on the left hip. We're going to drive that hip up towards the ceiling and lowering it back down. You ready? Feet in. Shins roughly parallel perpendicular to the floor. Okay. We're going to lower the left hip. We're going to keep the right hip elevated. Then we're going to hyperextend that left hip back up. And we're kind of rocking. At the same time, this right hip here does not move. So you keep it lifted. Now, you might find that when you drop your left side of the hip and the pelvis and lift it down, or the left side of your pelvis down, you might find if you get to that bottom position, you just let everything relax off that left side. I want you to try and keep it engaged. So you're strong through your obliques here. TBA working hard, internal external obliques working hard. You've got to try and keep that right hip up. And your buttocks are having a field day. Your abs don't know what to hit them. You're going to work two more here. Oh my goodness me. Up you guys. Come on. One more. And rest. Stretch out the legs. Put your toes away. Really well trained. Shake it out. Okay. Rolling over to your right side. I want you to put your feet together. You're going to hinge at the knee and bring your feet up to clam position here. You're going to keep a strain off from your nose to your pelvis to your knee. You're going to slowly drop that left knee down into a clam and then bring that left knee up. Raise the abdominals here. Let the knees kind of touch in the middle. Good, good, good. Now this time, we've got our knee up to the ceiling. Okay, we're then going to lift both feet up. Drop the feet back down to the ground. Let the knees touch again. So knee out wide. Lift the feet up. Slowly lower the feet back down to the ground. Let the knees touch again. You're going to know everything about the muscles in your feet. Strangely enough. But you're going to know everything about the muscles forward, anteriorly and posteriorly of your body here. Forward and back of your body, how they work here. Now, if you let this knee track forward, this is really easy. But if you keep that straight line from your nose, through your belly button to your knee, up and pull. You're going to know everything about it again. One more here. Out wide. Rotate. Slowly back in. And release. Change sides, please. Rolling off to the left side. Again, straight line through the body. Hinge at the knees. Bring the heels up towards your body. Work through a clamp to start with. So the left leg is down to the floor here. The right knee is rotating and turning its knee up to the ceiling. Here we go. Right knee comes up. Lift the feet up behind. Lower down. Let the knees tuck. Wide. Rotate. Lift those feet up. And again. Knee high. Lift the feet up high. Feel what's going in the glutes. All the stabilizing muscles of those glutes working hard. This is really good for all your postural muscles. If you're keeping a straight chain through your body, you know everything that's going on right now. Now, concentrate. Give that straight line through your nose to your knees. After you lift the knee up, actively think about just lifting the feet high rather than rotating through the body now. So knee goes high, lift the feet. One more here. And release. Shake it out. Take yourself through into standing. And we're going to retest. Okay, so hinge from the hips, with a stretch in the back of your legs to start with. Release up any stretching, any inhibitions here in the back of the legs. Slowly come back up. Now, you ready to retest? What have we got? Knee, hinge. Remember our knees are side by side. Next thing we've got to test, we've got to lift the hip that's got the knee raised up. I'm going to slowly up. We're going to come back into standing. I'm going to swap it over to the other side. Definitely strong for me that side. Chin's parallel. Chin stays lifted. Drive up through. And really shake it out. Good work. Now take your left foot over your right. Just got the bar, hinge and drop down. Really, really well trained. Good session. I love that. Really good. Lots of science in behind what we were doing there. Certainly you're going to wake up tomorrow knowing you've done some exercise, I reckon. Now shake it out, swap it over. Right foot goes over the top of the left. Keep the gap between the feet. And we're going to hinge again. Stick our bottom back. Hands on top of our thighs. Big toe, little toe. Flat down to the floor. Toes to heels. Flat down as well. Slowly release and shake it out. Interlock the fingers. Roll one way. Come back the opposite way on the roll. Shake it out. Stretch and lengthen up. Raising up onto the ball of the feet. Raise the shoulders back. Lift the fingers up. And release. Really, really well trained. Hope you enjoyed that session. Really, really good. A lot of stabilizer glute use there. Well done. Grab your liquid. Take a good sip of it. Hydrate and rest. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. Please let me know how you got on. As always, if I can help, send me a message and I'll get in contact with you soon. Cheers.